Wagwan, welcome to your advanced session on supply and demand. So, supply and demand are somewhat different from support and resistance, and I'm going to explain why. The supply and demand levels on the chart, I normally pick them off the H4, sometimes the daily, but mainly the H4. At these levels, price like to reject, retrace, or just change market structure overall. Let's dive straight into it. Alright, supply and demand. Watch me now. Let's start with GJ, my favorite pair, yeah? These rectangular area right here is where I have my supply and demand zones, yeah? So here on the H4, see? That's where I have my supply and demand zone. Alright, you just pick up these levels. You understand? Notice at these levels, yeah? Price, let me zoom in a bit more. Price tends to consolidate, yeah? So from here, this is like the 5th of August to 12th of August. So price like to consolidate at these levels, and then after consolidate, it make a big burst. You understand? So I like to catch my entry on one of these levels. So I no longer enter trades on the support and resistance levels that's within the supply and demand level. So the support and resistance, they are within here. Let me show you what I'm talking about now. Let's take this area. Look at the market structure. So whenever I come to the H4, I'm looking at market structure. Notice how price bounce on this level, bounce and respect this level. It comes right here, consolidate, then move off, right? Consolidate, then move off. Consolidate, hit here again and move off, right? So if you look at it, it's like price shifted, created a higher low, and then continue, right? So watch me now. It's gonna be a little bit much clearer whenever I drop time frame. So in between the supply and demand level right here, from the zone that I drew up, in between here, that's about 70 pips, yeah? So whenever you drop time frame to like the 1 hour, you have more action to look at now. So when you're looking at the 1 hour or the 30 minutes, you can pick up your support and resistance in between, like here and so on, yeah? So I'm saying to you that price will consolidate at these 4-hour zone, then move off. So when you're trying to trade, what you want to do is that you want to have your stop loss out here, which is a stop loss zone. In here is the fluctuating zone, so you don't want to have your stop loss in here. This entry where I have here was a re-entry. My initial entry was here, and then I did a re-entry right here on the pullback at this level right here, yeah? But the main place you want to have your stop loss is outside here, yeah? Not in here. You understand what I'm saying? Because in here is a fluctuating level. Price can fluctuate in here, and it's going to respect here as a barricade. So these 4-hour zone at the supply and demand is very, very strong, yeah? If I go down to the 30 minutes, you can see things a little more detail. Alright, you could see like that support and resistance level right here. You could see another level right here. So what you want to do, you want to play within these zones, right? With your TP1 and your TP2. However, if you go back to the H4, so the first position that we like to take, I would want you to put it within this first zone between this demand and the supply. Yeah, that's where your first position should be. Your next position can play the entire market structure. You understand? Because once price breaks through here, it's gonna probably come here and consolidate, then comes up on top where old roof now becomes new floor, consolidate a bit again, then move off. Yeah, so price always tends to respect these 4-hour levels, and that is why I like to take my entry on these 4-hour levels. Yeah, let me show you another example. US scale. Let me show you this 4-hour level again. You have another one here again. Alright, so out here would be the stop loss zone. In here will be the fluctuating zone. Right, so remember from the first session in your newbies, we spoke about the basic of trading, where price shift, retest, create a higher low, shift, retest, create a higher low, and it goes something like this. So this is the market structure where I'm getting you guys to look at, where price move in between the supply and demand zone. Yeah, so once I see this here push up, test this supply zone, comes back here, retest on this demand zone right here, you know that we don't enter on an impulse, we enter on the retracement. So once price comes here, look at it, it consolidates. Notice where it consolidates here, and then there's your entry. So once price starts to consolidate here, you could just put your stop loss beneath here, because as I say, beneath here will be the stop loss zone, in here will be the fluctuating zone. You understand? So you don't want to have your stop loss in here, you want to catch it on these zones. So let me show you how this look when you drop time frame, go to like the 1 hour. I know it looks simple from the 8-4, but let me show you the power of it. Yeah, so from here to here, you're looking at 143 pips. You understand what I'm saying? So we want to take our entry at these levels. Yeah, and let me show you the simple thing right here. All right, this is structure, demand zone, breaker structure right here, shift, retest, created a higher low to continue up, stop loss beneath here, right, entry here, and you're up. All right, so once you see touch on the 4-hour zone, you could go to your 1 hour, your 30 minutes, and then look for your breaker structure on that demand zone. Right, same can be said for the supply. Let me go to the 4-hour. All right, let's take this example. Right, price came here, consolidate, then broke above. Right, price burst through the demand zone and come and retest it as supply. Right, here's a lot of exhaustion, we're going to speak on that in further session. Yeah, so respecting here as supply, then it did this. Right, between this supply and demand zone, how many pips is that? Right, you're looking at 80 pips. You get what I'm saying? So once you see it start bouncing here between the supply and demand, what you're gonna do, stop loss above it, because this is going to use as a barricade. Yeah, because you don't want your stop loss in here, because this is the fluctuating zone and this is the stop loss zone. You understand? So let me circle here and let's drop time frames. 16, open up, all right, structure, This is what you call an ascending channel. Yeah, we're gonna speak about this in later advanced session as well. All right, boom, ascending channel. All right, bam bam, and then breakout. All right, so let me show one more example. Yeah, so you guys need to understand that these zones are very critical. So I said, for me, I like to take my entries on the supply and demand zone, yeah, and not the support and resistance that is in between them. Let me pick another one. Let's say Euro USD. All right, so this is money all day, guys. Money all day, trust me. All right, H4 zone. Yeah, H4 zone here. See that? Right here we have our next H4 zone as well. You understand? We also have a next one right here. As I said, this look very simple on the H4, but watch this. Here to here, 110 pips. Here to here, right? That's another 100 pips. So notice that when price comes to this zone right here, let me remove this, it consolidates. All right, it consolidates a bit, then move off. Yeah, always like to consolidate and then move off. Right, consolidate a bit, then move off. Yeah, let me drop time frame for this so you can see what's up. Let's go to can we go 30? All right, so we at that H4 zone. I think this could have drawn a little better. Let me go back to the H4. See if I could catch it a little better. Did you think I catch it properly? Yes, I didn't. The zone is here. Yeah, nice. Look left. Yes, about there. Alright. And drop time frames. See if I could open it up so you can understand where I'm coming from. Yeah, all right, so let's look at this downward structure, wrong thing. Let me get it up. Taking my time with this, guys. Yeah, downward structure, right? Price came back and break the previous low right here. Demand level, shift, retest, break a structure. See right here, break the previous high. Yeah, break a structure, shift, retest, and created a higher low and test back the demand level. You understand? And that's your buy right there. Yeah, so this gave a lot of wick right here, but from here to here, that's a stop loss behind this level right here that it came back to test, and from here to here you have about 60 pips. Alright, came back and test right here. Did you hit your stop loss? So if you had a second entry, you could go all the way up to here, 122 pips. Yeah, and in between now, in between this demand and supply zone, you have your support and resistance. Yeah, support and resistance. Alright, and it's at these level you would take off some of your TP, or if you want to play your full first position in the demand and supply level, you can do that. And then what you could do now is just to use H4 to play the entire market structure. So for me, I like to take my first position within the demand and supply zone, and then the second position for the entire market structure. Alright, so if you have any questions on the supply and demand and how it works, yeah, you can just always reach out. So basically that's it in a nutshell. I just really wanted to make this simple advanced session so you guys need to understand that key points. I like to take my entries whenever I come to that H4 supply and demand level. Right, so in between where you have the support and resistance, I'm not taking my entries there. Why? Because those here, as I see right here, or you see price come back, say that you take an entry here, like about here, price come back right here, but notice it's not coming back outside here. It's not coming back outside here, because in here is the fluctuating zone now, and out here will be the stop loss zone. All right, I hope you guys are much more clearer on supply and demand and how to differentiate it between support and resistance. If you need further clarity, please message in the advanced channel and someone will be there to assist you, or you can send me a direct message an executive member or a top tier member, and we will surely be there to assist you. I'll see you in the next session. Bless.